Creativity thrives on consistency. And when it comes to making videos, I admit, I have not been great. Yet. But last year I decided to start a newsletter as a way to stay consistent with my creative goals and journey. Along the way, I have learned 3 lessons. 1, showing up consistently builds commitment. Writing every month wasn't about just being consistent. It was about being committed to a long-term creative journey. 2, consistent writing improves skills. Writing creative little details month after month sharpened my writing in unexpected ways, especially my creative writing. And 3, noticing small details fuels creativity. Paying attention to the small, often overlooked detail in everyday life has become a key source of inspiration. Why I started the newsletter. I started this newsletter last year, but at the time, I always disliked writing. But I came to realize writing starts with everything. Whether it's a script, email, online content, and even a tweet, it starts with writing. So the real challenge wasn't just about creative writing. It's about staying consistent. Because I would usually start a project, get excited about it, then really get into it, and drop it off, and then start a new project without really finishing that project that I initially started. And I slowly lose momentum of that second project and start a new project. And so I really didn't want to repeat the cycle of just starting a project of a newsletter and not finishing it. So I knew I needed a challenge to push myself, something that would keep me accountable. For me, that challenge was creative writing, but I wanted it to be something more than creative writing, so I can really stick with it, something that it wouldn't allow me to quit. So I decided to start a monthly newsletter because I thought weekly newsletter would be a bit overwhelming for me at the start. And I wanted it to be a practice for my writing skills, especially creative writing skills on a regular basis. So a monthly to month basis was a good enough time for me to schedule and write and explore my creativity in a more structured way. And that's how I started Creative Little Details, the overarching theme of consistency. Now, the interesting part is I just didn't want a newsletter to be a random collection of posts. I wanted to have a theme, an overarching storyline, something that tied every issue together, but at the same time have every issue to be a standalone content. So here's a quick breakdown of all the issues that I have posted. 1, the first issue, Creative Little Details, was the introduction. It set the tone for creativity and finding inspiration in every day. 2, observing details. 3, navigating beginnings. 4, setting goals. 5, integrating play. 6, staying present. 7, teamwork and collaboration. 8, ending blocks. 9, nurturing routines. 10, crafting stories. And 11, yearning for growth. And that theme is consistency. Each issue represented a letter in the word consistency. But beyond that, the storyline is also a visual. As you know, I'm more of a visual storyteller myself. The first 6 issues were simple. It was a black and white image that I've done for each issue. Then the teamwork and collaboration issue, there was a spark of color symbolizing the beginning of something bigger. A teamwork, a hand given to someone and being brought up, a flash of light that has been introduced into the newsletter. And from there, the rest of the issue gradually introduced more colors, eventually leading to the creation of a thumbnail for my latest creative project. This visual journey represents my return to creating, which now I am making a video about my newsletter. And also, the reason I started this challenge in the first place, personal experience, writing habits, creative process. One of the biggest challenges for me was sticking to a writing schedule, like sitting down at 8 p.m. every day, writing a set period of time. But I realized that you don't need hours of uninterrupted time to make progress. Sometimes it's about working with the time that you have and staying consistent. Some days I will only edit few lines that I've already written. And some days I'll have about 5 or 10 minutes to have a really creative writing period. But the key was consistency. By showing up every day, even for a little bit, I built a momentum that kept me engaged in the process. It wasn't just about finishing something. It was about being present and knowing that this small effort that I was putting in was part of the bigger picture, the bigger journey. On the flip side, taking a break is just as important. I found that stepping away from a project, even a little bit, gives you a fresh perspective into whatever project that you're working on. Creativity needs space to breathe sometimes. And I learned that the hard way while burning out and not creating anything for 2 or 3 years. Value and building confidence. When I first started, I had doubts about whether what I had to share would be valuable enough for people to subscribe. I wasn't an expert and by any means, and that made me question if my thoughts on creativity could really resonate with others. But what I've learned is that you don't have to be an expert to bring value. You bring value by sharing your own experience and unique perspective. Over time, as I shared more creativity online, I started to see what I connected with my audience. Little by little, I realized that the value wasn't about being an expert or answering all the questions. It was about offering my personal journey and packaging it up in a way that could help others. As the content grew in value, so did my confidence, and my subscriber list reflected that. This shift in mindset was a huge boost for me. It made me more focused on delivering quality content each month, and that focus made staying consistent much easier. The momentum kept building, and now I feel like I'm in a much better creative rhythm. Conclusion. Beyond my personal growth, running a newsletter can also be a powerful tool for building a personal brand. It can act as a lead magnet to soft launch any product you're working on or offer exclusive paid content. With dedicated, engaged audience that you have grown, you're in a prime position to introduce any offering that you have, such as an ebook or a course or even a product, in a way that feels more natural and low pressured as your audience and subscribers grow. Your newsletter becomes an even greater asset, opening more opportunities for monetization and a long-term success. If you have been thinking about starting something, whether it's a newsletter, a blog, or a creative project, remember this. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start and take it one step at a time and be consistent. Thanks for watching. I hope this video inspires you to start your own creative journey. Leave a comment below and let me know how you stay consistent in your creative journey. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you for watching.